If you've got a spare minute, make sure you check out these legends.
Right, hello guys, welcome to another chin vlog. I just wanted to start off with not a rant this time, just more of an observation. Like this right here is classic of the, well, this woman essentially has been feeding her husband MSG for years, but he's allergic, very allergic to it. And you can read the, pause and read the story, but long story short is he found out he's been eating MSG all this time and he's fine. Now, why I wanted to bring this up, for those of you who don't listen to vlogs or whatever, not vlogs, podcasts, or just interact with me on social media very often, you'll know that I really do get this kind of email, or most people who message me about this thing are on Instagram, which is odd, but anyway. And it's normally that other half is definitely allergic to it. Yeah, and they've been dosing them with high amounts of MSG and telling them there's none in there, and they've been absolutely fine. Now, I do not condone that. I think that that's actually a little bit dangerous, but it is interesting that I've not had one person yet say, actually, my wife or husband has said they are allergic and I dosed them without knowing, and they're absolutely fine. Now, do not go out and do this. I'm saying do not, even though it is very unlikely they are allergic, someone can be allergic to oxygen, so just don't go out and do this. But yeah, I find it very interesting, and I know, again, it's all anecdotal, so it's not tested, there's no real scientific data behind it, it's just people's own experience, so again, it's wishy-washy at best. Still, very interesting. There is one time where I had a message. I'll see if I can find it. If I can, I'll put it up here. If I can't, I won't. But he said, are you sure people can't be allergic to MSG? Because I just cooked a Chinese meal for my wife and she came out in hives. And he said he did tell her there was MSG in it. And I went, look, I don't feed it to her again. I'm being responsible. I mean, I believed it was psychosomatic. I was like, don't do it again. It's obvious that she's having a reaction regardless, so don't do it. And then he messaged me back saying, I did it anyway. And I used the exact same amount of MSG. I just told her there was none in it and she didn't have a reaction. And he's done it a couple of times now. Well, a fair few times. This was a few years ago, so he's probably doing it all the time. And they had no reaction. And I don't think people realise how powerful the nocebo effect is. And the nocebo effect is the reverse of the placebo effect. And we know that the placebo effect is actually quite powerful. So imagine that multiplied to negative, and of course a lot of stuff's going to happen. Like, for example, they did an experiment, which I don't think they could do nowadays, but I can't remember who it was. And they essentially said, this machine is going to give you pain, but it's to test how old you are, or something ridiculous like that. It's a laser. So when they shone the laser on people, when they were told this, a lot of them experienced up to 8 on the pain scale. That's a lot. When in reality, it was just a laser pointer and there wasn't even any trace heat coming off it. That's how powerful the nocebo effect is. I don't think there was one person in that study, I could be wrong, I don't think there was one person in that study that didn't have a negative effect, but it was always very mild. Oh, but it was very mild. Don't quote me on that, because I haven't actually looked into that study, so that's just internet hearsay, so it could be bollocks. In fact, ignore everything I've just said about that study, because it might not have even been an actual study. It could have just been YouTubers doing it. I just thought that was very, very interesting. So that laser pointer experiment wasn't actually scientifically valid, because it was, in fact, I think, for a TV show. I did find lots of research on the nocebo effect, in particular this one that looks at all the literature, and it essentially says that people are more likely to get a nocebo effect, especially when they're prompted by people that they know in their own groups, or things that they feel that has social value. So let's say an online guru says this, they're gonna more likely to have a nocebo effect, and it's a particular group of people I've noticed that are normally susceptible to the nocebo effect, especially with MSG. I won't go into that demographic, but if you want, I've linked the paper below so you can read through it. That data there does back up my life experience in terms of this MSG allergy thing. So I find that very interesting, so I thought you might want to read it, so I've put it below. What are you doing there, Ma?
Fancy cut for the street.
For what?
For lunch.
Staff lunch, is it?
Yeah. Like cooking stuff lunch.
Oh, you're not
today.
cooking today then?
No. I don't cook every day. She wants to try out one of the sauce she bring home.
Oh, from a
The
packet?
Yeah. So we're trying it.
What packet is it, Mel?
It's, I think it's Lobo.
Do you want to go get it? My mobile phone, I have an Apple 14 Pro, whatever it is, and on my bike yesterday, it came out of my pocket. It was on the road. I went to run to pick it up. A guy drove over it as I went, and I looked at it, and it looked absolutely fine. And I was amazed because it came off me at about 60 miles an hour. I looked at it, and it looked fine. I could see the screen as well. And then the guy drove straight over it. And not only did it go straight over it, it launched it right into my shin. So right now, that's my shin. That's been hit by the phone, and I was wearing my kit at the same time. But then what my phone did, because it thought I was in an accident, actually phoned the police. So I think it phoned 112, which is Apple's secure line or something like that, to say that you've been in an accident. Now, because it came off me, and I didn't realise it came off me because it was in my pocket, and I was wearing my leather jeans, I should say. They're like motorbike cycle jeans. Normally I keep it in my breast pocket, but I put it in my thigh pocket, and because they're so tight, it wasn't comfortable, and mid-ride I moved my phone, and I think that's why it came out. It just pushed itself out through the vibrations of the bike. After picking it up, I got home and I've noticed I had 2 missed calls. So I put the number in, and a lot of people were saying it was a scam, but someone said they phoned 101 to see if it was the police. I did phone 101, and they said it was, and they confirmed that it was in fact the police. And because the Apple, I told them I was in an accident, which I find incredible. Massively sorry for the inconvenience of that, because I think it's wasted its time. I didn't know that was a function. I did not know that was a function on Apple, which is incredible. Because if I was in an accident, then at least I know that if I'm unconscious, someone is going to be there. You live and learn. I won't ever put it in my pocket ever again. That pocket there, always breast pocket. Or if it's a zip pocket. So yeah, that was eventful yesterday. And this is what the phone looks like now. And I looked at it, and I could see a white chip in the outside. So like, you know, here there was a white chip there, and that's what I could see. And the screen was down flat, and I could see the back was fine. The screen is still fine, but the back is all kinds of fucked. I'll show you now. So yeah, you can see that it's just absolutely fucked. It looked like the guy aimed for the phone, but I'm 100% sure, thinking back at it now, it's because I was running up the side of the road to try and get to the phone, and he was looking at me, so didn't pay attention to the phone and thought he was giving me a wide berth, but in fact he was just going straight over my phone. And I'm actually recording this on my phone that was crushed, which I still can't believe. Apple is just like, I'm not an Apple fanboy, but I'm really impressed by that. Like, I can't believe the screen is fine. Like, there's no cracks or anything. Forgot to ask you, how was the that sauce the other day on the squid?
What squid? Oh yeah, it was quite okay. Yeah.
It's quite okay.
I was surprised.
Were you?
Yeah.
What was nice about it? What did it taste like? Tom Yum?
No, it tastes a bit like there's a tomato base on it.
But yeah, anyway, so what would you give that out of 10?
Oh, I think about 5.
5?
Yeah, maybe not 5, maybe 4.
Oh right, so you've come down then?
No, 4. I wouldn't go out and buy
you wouldn't buy it, but it was
no,
alright.
I won't
You
go
would
and
eat
buy
it?
it. I will. If someone cook it, I will eat it, but I won't buy it and cook it for myself.
Okay, brilliant.
That's it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Thumbs up? So that's it for today, but I want to give a massive shout out to our patrons. I mean, you guys genuinely are amazing, and I can't thank you enough for donating. It literally means the world. Like, every time I read the names, I'm just blown up. But like, anyway, so thank you very much to Karen White, Ed Ailing, Gloss Galore, Nevsky, Paul Latching, Alfie, #MSG Massive Ailing, Amanda Westlake, Chelsea Girl, Shezzy, Daniel Sidmans, Elise Ailing, George Kemp, Janet Ferrety, Louise Highgate, Susie Taylor, and Jan Ailing as well. Thank you, all of you guys, for supporting. especially this small channel. I know a lot of you actually support the bigger channel as well, which means a great deal to us, honestly. Anyway, cheers guys, until next time.